All right, guys. So we moved to a different spot. This spot I fished before with you guys. This is a bit high risk, high reward, or high risk, no reward. Whatever the case is today. It's a bit breezy right now. As you can tell, there's storm clouds just wherever. I don't think it's going to rain, but they're just there. They want to. They want to, bro. So I'm going to get real close and personal because it's a little windy and I'm throwing back there, so behind the boat. Some spot lock. I'm dropping a jig on them. Let's see if anybody wants to have themselves a good midday, let's call it brunch, even though it's like 9 o'clock or something, maybe. But I've been out here since 5:30, so it's probably brunch if it were me. Let's see what we can do. See if we can land us one, a nice one. Not none of these 2-pounders and stuff, bro. Who even gets up for 2-pounders? Nobody. Nobody gets up for 2-pounders. So what I'm gonna do is, in this area, I'll probably cast for about 15 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna bounce to a different area, which is less high risk, but probably less reward also. But you never know. Fish is crazy, bro. Fish be crazy. You gotta be crazy, or a little crazy yourself to go and chase them. You know what I'm saying? Gotta have a couple screws loose to say, you know what? I'm gonna go cast to these fools, see where they're at, see if I can't trick them. See if I can't throw a piece of plastic at these fools and make them bite. We'll see. I might also be blocking the wind a little bit so the microphone will pick me up a little better. But it just depends on how the wind is positioning the boat as to how close or far away from the camera I'll be and how much audio you'll be able to hear. So if you were on the last live stream when I caught that buzzer beater, I was saying that that osprey that was chirping in the background was probably just mocking me, because that fish was not a big fish, but still a fish, and it was essentially the Hustle Gamble, which is one of my subscribers. If you're on, well, hopefully you're hearing me. He's the Hustle Gamble of osprey, basically just telling me that's a participation trophy fish. If you are new to this live stream, I got 30 minutes to catch a fish. Every live stream is cut into 30-minute chunks. That's the way the camera does it. So we got 30 minutes to catch a fish. Can we do it? Only one way to find out. We gotta fish around, find out. So right now I'm throwing into about, let's say, 15 feet and bringing it. There's a drop off over here on, it comes out into 30 or 25 feet, somewhere around there. But there's a lot of rock. It's basically sand on the top of this flat, and I'm bringing it out, dragging my jig on the rock that's on that drop off. That drop off is somewhat drastic. It's not a slow drop. Good enough for me. Oh, Deegan, thank you very much. Let's make it happen, bro. Let's get digging a fish. You know what I'm saying? Let's let them see some green out here. Let's let them see some green. Maybe. I think there might be spots around here. Spotted bass. Let's see if we can get them a spotty too hottie out here on one of these rocks. Like I said, if I don't catch anything on the first 15 minutes, I will move to a spot like 2 minutes away, and then we'll run the other minutes at that other spot. So we'll see what happens. It's nice and breezy right now. I don't know what all you guys can see. Oh well, you just see this really long fishing rod right there. But hopefully we can make it a fish. So I'm casting behind the boat because I'm spot locked, and the spot that I want to cast to is back there. So since you guys that roll with me are essentially in the back of the boat, then go ahead and duck, guys, anytime I cast. Probably looks crazy with the rod going across the camera. Big bass, bro. I have not caught. I mean, I barely started this live stream, let's say 6 minutes ago. But today I've caught, I don't know, maybe, let's see, 2 there, 2 there, 1 there. I've caught about 5 fish this morning. But none of them are ones that we're going to ride home to mom about. You know what I'm saying? All of them are dinks, bro. Probably about, the biggest is maybe 2.5, maybe 2, somewhere around there. Miranda, I have, or Miranda, I should say Miranda. Sorry. I have caught some spotted bass and some largemouth. Spotted bass and some largemouth. Oh, Zachary Burks bringing the luck. Well, we might need it in this spot. If they're here, they're going to be a decent size. If they are not, well, then they're going to be the size of a goose egg. You know what I'm saying? Elijah, I have caught about 5 fish. We went through the rundown just right now. They were largemouth and spotted bass, but none of them huge. None of them huge. Oh, but I forgot to tell you guys. Oh yeah, so none of them huge, right? But I did miss a big one. Story of every fisherman's life, right? But I missed a big one. It felt like grass, sort of. Just felt, you know, like kind of hung in there. And I was like, I don't know. And then I felt some weight. And I was like, oh, that's a fish. But I didn't set the hook very well. So I basically had him on for a second. And it was coming with me. And then I guess he just outswam my reeling capability. And then he came off. So it was probably, in my estimation, 4 or 5 pounder, somewhere around there, if I had to guess. Okay, so I can feel the rock down there. That's where I want to be. Just want to let it soak a little bit, see if they'll just come over here and bam, tap it. But right now the current's going along this channel right here, so I would figure that they'd be posted up a little bit. Current generated by the wind, but what do I know? You know what I'm saying? What do I know? Fishing is all about educated guessing. Heck, sometimes they might be there and still not bite. Storytelling. The time. Hold on, dog. Hold on. Hold on. Hey, bro. I gotta tell the good and the bad. I gotta tell the good and the bad, Antonio. I keep it real. This channel goes live so you can see the good and the bad. Oh, also, I burnt my microphone connection, so that's why I have to talk like this to the camera this close, because I had a microphone which would bring my audio in clearly whether it's windy or not, but that kind of got smoked, so we got to figure that out. And Zach, I was catching them. I threw a chatterbait and all kinds of stuff, but I'm catching them right now on a Zoom trickworm, Magnum trickworm. I'm throwing a jig right now in these rocks just to see if I can get them to commit to something a little bit bigger. Maybe bring out the bigger fish. But I might throw that worm out there in the rock and see if they'll munch on that guy. Because sometimes that jig is just too big for them to commit. And then I throw that worm out there and they're like, oh, I'll eat that. In the same location, right? So I'll just kind of do a little cleanup with a worm and see if they'll bite that, and sometimes they commit. The only problem is that my jig is a 1/2 ounce jig. Right now we're next to the channel, so it might be pushing my worm off to the side because it's a 1/4 ounce weight that I'm using for the worm, for the Texas rig. So let's do what I said. We'll throw that worm out there just to see. High risk, high reward. Nothing there. I've got about 3 more minutes here, so we'll throw the worm out there. We'll throw the worm out there, see if anybody will commit to that. If not, well, then we're gonna move to this other spot. So I hope you guys got your life vests on. All right, so I'm letting it sink down there. All right, now we're on the bottom. And Antonio, if you don't believe my story time, player, go look at that. I think it was the first live, maybe the second live. That's where I missed him, bro. Heartbreaker, heartbreaker. I felt the weight on that fish, bro. When I semi set the hook. So I'm just dragging this worm real slow on the bottom. I gotta get Deegan and Zach a fish. Get it, boys. On the last live stream, I barely kept the streak alive of fish on the last, like cast. Essentially in the last 2 minutes, I caught myself a little dink, but it was a buzzer beater, you know what I'm saying? To keep that streak alive. Catching a fish in 30 minutes is a tough task sometimes. Sometimes these fools are jumping in the boat, but sometimes these fools, you can't even get them to look at your bait. Time check, we have, oh, this is our last cast here. It's the 15-minute mark. It's either going to happen or we're moving to another spot, and it's not very far. We got to keep the streak alive. The current must be taking my worm because I cast it over there, unless the boat is shifting based on the wind. But I cast it in that direction and my worm or my line is now slightly off to that side, and I don't really feel the rock like I felt on the jig, so we're probably gonna bust a move. Now don't get all excited, think I'm about to dance or anything. but we're gonna bust a move. All right, let's bust a move. High risk, high reward, no reward. Sometimes it happens that way. I should probably retie, but I ain't gonna do it. Why didn't you guys tell me that my trolling motor's still on spot lock? I was about to turn the main motor on, players. You gotta have my back. You gotta be like, yo, fool, your trolling motor's still in the water. It's a team effort, guys. You gotta let me know my trolling motor's still in the water. Told you guys it wasn't going to be a far move, but it was definitely a main motor move. Can't do that on the trolling motor, it takes too long. We got 15 minutes, bro. All right, so let's make this happen. Where we at? Those abrasions are feeling a little more abrasion-y. Now I might be losing confidence in whether I should retie or not. Or my choice to retie or not. We're gonna find out. I keep looking back, not because I'm looking for the Llorona or anything. It's because I keep hearing this little splash. Yep, a little splash right there. I think there's little bass. Little bass beating up a bait ball or something, but they're little splashes, bro. We're not here for the dinks anymore. I mean, we never really were, but we never really were. I'm gonna keep my rod tip down so that the wind doesn't mess with my line, drag my bait in different directions, you know, things like that. Plus, it helps the eelgrass not get caught on my line. And I mean the floating eelgrass, not the eelgrass down on the bottom. What's our time hack? We are at 19:45. So basically we got 10 minutes to catch a fish off this spot. If we don't, then, or if we don't catch a fish, we break the streak and So Antonio wants me to explain. Well, he assumes that nobody knows what the Llorona is. Now he's called story time. All right, Antonio, I'm going to educate some people. This is Mexican folklore. So, and depending on where you're at, you hear different versions, but this is the version that I know. The Llorona is this lady who, I don't remember all the details. She loved some dude, something, I don't know. Maybe he was leaving her. I don't know, because I don't get into people's drama. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's past, present, or future, I don't get into their drama. So, she basically takes her kids down to the river, which should be the Rio Grande in most, if not all, the stories. Takes them to the river and drowns her kid. And I think she drowns herself too. And the Mexican folklore is that you could hear her crying still to this day at the river's edge whenever you're out there at night. So I personally have never heard her, and I fished at night, but I mean, thank God I haven't heard her, because if I did, I'd probably just run away. Probably have to change my undergarments at that point. But either way, she basically freaking drowned her kids, and now she cries eternally at the river. So I don't know if she comes all the way up to Alabama, because that's kind of far from the border, but I have not seen her, thankfully, while I'm night fishing. But don't think while I'm night fishing I don't look over my shoulder, you know what I'm saying? And now everybody knows about the Llorona, so if you ever hear something like that, you just basically thank Antonio for, be like, yo, I saw this fool's fishing channel. He didn't catch a single fish, but he told us a story about the Llorona. 8 minutes, let's go, guys. I really hate these buzzer beaters, because why not just catch them throughout the whole live stream? I'm gonna move forward a little bit. Hey, Hustler, are you trying to make me never leave my house, bro? So Hustle is clearly trying to make me never lose or leave my house, because he's talking about skinwalkers now. This has now turned from a fishing channel to a ghost storytelling channel. But it's probably fitting, because the fish have not shown up. They're basically ghosts on this channel anyway, so boo, you know what I'm saying? Let's try and resurrect one of these ghosts, these fish ghosts, and bring them in the boat. Oh, Hustle should know about the Llorona because he was in Arizona. It basically New Mexico, Arizona, same state. Alright guys, we got thick mats of eelgrass floating through here. So we're gonna have to figure this out. Whoa, Antonio, I don't say what my PB is because of modesty. Nah, just kidding, player. I've already said it a couple times, but I guess you just missed it, dog. But if you missed it, well then that tells me one of two things, dog. You didn't see it on my live stream, so that's cool, no big deal. But also, you must not be watching my channel, dog, my other videos, because it's there on my, like, the first, once you go to my channel page, the first video on there is me catching my PB, bro. That sucker was 3 months after I bought this boat. Well, Anna, I'm glad that somebody finds some pleasure in this channel when we should be showing fish, not actually just saying stupidities, right? But I do appreciate you liking the channel. But what do you call it? The fish itself, 3 months after I bought this boat. 3 months after I bought this boat. Sorry about that. That felt like a bite. Stopped me in my tracks, bro. Stopped me in my tracks. 3 months after I bought this boat, I went to Lake Amistad, which is in Del Rio, Texas, and what do you call it? I was there on Memorial Day, and I was throwing a 3/4 ounce jig in about like 20 some feet of water. Maybe that's why I just keep fishing deep water, bro, looking for that next giant. But 2-minute warning, players. 2-minute warning. This might be where we lose our live streak. That's grass. High risk, high reward. Didn't pay off this time, guys. We still got 2 minutes, but I'm gonna keep casting. So I went to Amistad, Memorial Day, only person out there because the weather was kind of gloomy and whatever. Caught myself an 11-pound, 2-ounce largemouth. It was amazing, bro. I'll probably tell the rest of the story on the other live stream. But Anna, I do appreciate you letting this dude watch my live streams. And you might not like this channel after a while when you're like, why do you keep watching that fool? I exist. But hopefully he doesn't do that. Alright guys, we have 1 minute. I'm not feeling what I want to feel out there. I'm going to pop off to another spot after this one, guys. My sincerest apologies for not catching a fish in this live stream. Zach, I forgot the other vato. I do apologize that I didn't get you guys a fish, because that's on me. I'm out here. I need to perform. Let's do this. But I'll catch you guys on the next live stream in a different spot, of course. Probably in the next 10 to 15 minutes. So, remember guys, fish around and find out.